Hello, hello, brothers and sisters. It's a new week, and we're very happy to welcome you to a new edition of our show titled Speak of Africa. Speak of Africa. In fact, we are always happy to join you for this rendezvous every week. Soon, we're going to also start the live show, but with the standard show, we are really happy to bring you what you love. First, we want to say thank you to all our subscribers. Thank you to all our viewers. Without you, we would have no show. Especially, special thanks also go to those folks who have started doing business with us. When you do business with us, we make money, even though that's not really what the purpose of the show is, but we are a business enterprise. So we believe in maximizing profit. We are not selfish. One of the things we are trying to do is to engage you who are in the diaspora, because we feel, as Wole Soyinka used to say, you are the strong breed. You are stronger than those who are back home. You are more educated. So this message resonates with you because you can easily be trained. You are already learning a new culture in the Western world. It's a lot easier for us to train you versus somebody who is at home who doesn't have the skills, or somebody who is not ready for training. Once we train you, then we think you're going to be like the exiles return. You can go back to your country and try to implement change in your country. That's what this show is about. We just want to get the Africans who are in the diaspora to start thinking, to evaluate different ways of changing their country for the better. And if we succeed in this, then we think as a show we've achieved our objective. We're not just trying to make you smile. I know it's okay when you smile, but we want to make sure that once you watch this show, even for a few minutes, you should pick a few ideas you can use to change your life, especially financially, for the better. And we're happy because some of you have been communicating with us. You call us and you get us on the phone. We share our phone number, so feel free to call us. We're helping some of you who have called already, and when you call, we'll tell you some of those who have started doing things. We're helping a lot of nurse practitioners set up their own healthcare businesses in the US. Some are trying to start nursing schools. Others are trying to set up urgent care clinics. And we're working with them. We told you before that we have our own software. In fact, we've spent a whole lot of money. We don't want to call numbers, but it's in the thousands and thousands of dollars to build this program. Let's just take 5 minutes to make you watch this software. It's called Alexa HTC. Take a look at it.
Now more than ever, it is critical that medical facilities utilize modern, reliable electronic health records. Introducing Alexia HTC, the innovative, affordable online solution for physicians and patients. Doctors' visits, diagnoses, prescriptions, and billing have never been easier. With Alexia HTC, you can work more efficiently with the integrated flexibility medical professionals need today. Schedule a live demonstration. Call or visit us at alexiahtc.com.
This video was done for us by Comcast TV. They design everything, then they are airing this video for us online using different social media. We thank Comcast for doing this video so that we can share this video with people who want to know what our software does. We can help you do everything. In addition to the software, we can also help you with marketing. We can also help you with business planning, writing your policies and procedures. Anything business-wise, we can help you do it affordably, okay? And we're encouraging a lot of our people to take us to task because we want to help a lot of Africans. Now is the time for you to transition. Instead of just working as a nurse or a medical doctor for a big facility, now is the time for you to have your own little business on the side. We're helping a lot of you to do this, and that's our goal. 2022, we're going to have a whole lot of people running their own businesses. When you succeed in your business, you'll be able to transfer your success to your home country. You'll be able to use the money you make in America to build your country at home, which is what we want to do. You are just like a soldier of fortune. We train you and you take your fortune to your motherland and change your country. If we do this, we know we're going to reach a whole lot of people because it is for us to develop Africa, not for the Chinese. It's us. The white man will never develop Africa for us. So it's a fallacy. For a long time, we've been thinking that we can bring white people and they would fix our country for us. No, nobody will fix your country for you. The Chinese are there to make money for themselves. The Americans are there to make money for themselves. The French are there to make money for themselves. So it is time for Africans to wise up and know that it is in your own self-interest. You have to be self-reliant to do things for yourself, just the way the Americans did it. In fact, when I studied for my master's, I wrote my thesis on the American pioneer past. I was looking at those people who built America the way it is today, the people who laid the foundation. I look at what they were like, the way they were thinking, their spirit. This pioneer spirit is what I'm trying to share with most Africans who really want it, okay? Without further ado, the show of today is to continue the process of decolonization in Africa. And this process of decolonization will take 3 phases. The first phase is what I call the colonial era. The second phase is what I call the revolutionary era. And the third phase is what I call the national era. With the colonial era, we have to get rid of all the vestiges of colonialism and neocolonialism in Africa. With the revolutionary era, we have to embark on change. This change has to be based on our culture, okay? And that's why I call it African Indigenous Institutions. There's a book which we're going to review for you today. It's by George Bernard Ayite, a professor from Ghana. He wrote this book, African Indigenous Institutions. The book is just saying that in order to rebuild Africa, we need to look back at our culture, at our civilization, then try to make this civilization the center of whatever we're building. We cannot just take abstract concepts from the West and impose them on our people. It will not work. And this is why Africa is having problems. So we can do this in 3 phases. You look at the colonial phase, the revolutionary phase, and the national phase. Okay? So those are 3 phases. So look at the book, African Indigenous African Institutions. Okay? It's a book by George Bernard Ayite. It focuses attention on how to rebuild Africa based on our culture, based on our civilization. Pick up the book. You can find the book on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. If you do that, it will help you to start decolonizing your mind to see how this will work. Without further ado, let's get now into our news segment. We start the news segment of today by going to Ambazonia. Okay, for the story of today, just know that the war in Ambazonia continues, okay? It's becoming more chaotic, more confusion, more infighting among the people of Ambazonia. I don't really know why the people are fighting. They should be fighting the enemy instead of fighting among themselves. But a lot of the soldiers are fighting among themselves because of manipulations coming from the diaspora. Most of the people clamoring for leadership are pitting each person against the other, which is not a good thing as a leader, but they are using the same old colonial trick, divide and conquer. But we know a lot of those guys will not really end up being president in Ambazonia. They are wasting their time. They will not be. We can tell you that already because we have a crystal ball. We know the way world politics shapes itself up, okay? But for the show of today, you guys have been asking us in the past, what has ADF of Ayabacho been doing? Okay, that's a question some of you have asked us in the past. We can tell you that, we can see that there's a whole lot of propaganda going on against Dr. Ayabacho, okay? We are doing a show. We don't love taking sides. We like to be objective. We're not saying that Dr. Ayabacho is a saint, but we think he's struggling in his own way to free Ambazonia. His detractors are making false stories about him, saying that he's a tool of La République. Those who are making those stories, we are telling them to be careful because it's not true. We have evidence. We can show you that Dr. Ayabacho and his ADF group are fighting for the liberation of Ambazonia. Okay, so we are not taking sides. We're just telling you that we hate this personality conflict in Ambazonia. It needs to stop. This is what is leading to the killing of a lot of soldiers on the ground, freedom fighters on the ground. Ayabacho is doing his homework, and we'll have videos that we can show you. We even have a video. You see Dr. Ayabacho's ADF, they went and put a sign near to a hospital in Bamenda. You can see the sign. La République thugs later went there and took the sign down. Then this same Ayabacho ADF folks, they stormed the thugs from La République and killed a whole lot of them. Then we'll have a video we can share with you where some of these guys, francophones, are complaining in French the way Ayabacho's ADF is killing them. Take a minute and watch this video.
Ici c'est un rincon. Ça tire en vrai. Les gars ont barricadé partout. Juste à l'opposé de l'entrée du groupement. Et ça tire vrai. Ouais. Paraît qu'il y a les camarades blessés.
Thank you for watching the ADF video. So we think at this point, let's put to rest the whole propaganda. Stop doing propaganda against Dr. Ayabacho. Do your own part in freeing Ambazonia. Don't focus on individuals because it creates enmity among brothers. Let it stop. We're not supporting Dr. Ayabacho. We're just saying we believe in objective analysis. Don't be taking sides because that's what is dividing the people of Ambazonia. Whether you love Sisiku, fine. Whether you love Sako Ikomi, fine. Whether you love Ayabacho, fine. But focus on the struggle, focus on the enemy you are fighting. Infighting is not helping your cause, it's helping the enemy. So we're asking all these people who call themselves leaders to tell their guys to stop it, beat it, okay, beat it. Finally, in the case of Ambazonia, we want to take you now to Tico. Tico is a small town. They have a little seaport. We just got news that a lot of our people from Equatorial Guinea, because Equatorial Guinea has been sending away a lot of people from Cameroun and Ambazonia. They want them to leave for their own political reasons. So one of these folks were in a boat, and the boat capsized. You can see a lot of pictures with the people really dying. In fact, this story got to our attention the first time when we're looking at the website of Mimi Mefo. I think we're looking at her website and we saw this story and we did more investigation. We saw that a lot of people have really died from this tragedy. We feel sorry for the people who lost their lives. If you lost relatives, please, we're really sorry and we feel bad for you. Without any further ado, we'll move now to the Central African Republic. It looks like Assange Touadera is playing Russian roulette. He's walking away from the French and embracing the Russians. How are things going? Well, we got the impression that more and more people are dying and the killing goes on. It's a killing field in the Central African Republic. There's no security, and we think we need to have security in an African nation. So we don't want the Central African Republic to become another failed state.
Hey, yo, Shay, I thought you was gonna take me to this place so I could get my taxes done. You know I'm trying to buy a new house. What's up?
Let's get it on. If you're searching for a house, call up my man Prince Ojong, the best in real estate. Take it from your guy Shake. When I say his services are the best in the states, word is born. He even take care of your tax forms, fat refunds. So come, get your business done. Consultations, financial organization, fast processing, no waiting. This man is amazing. The Prince.
Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131.
Without further ado, we'll move from the Central African Republic to Congo DRC. Congo DRC is a country we love so much. It makes us feel bad whenever we think of Africa's problems because we know Congo DRC is probably the richest country in Africa. Unfortunately, this country has been torn apart by war. You remember the War of the Great Lakes? There's not been just one war, there have been at least 2 wars of the Great Lakes which decimated this whole big country, which is bigger than a lot of countries in Europe. You saw how the wars created a lot of looting. There's a lot of mines, a lot of money in this part of the world, but the people are very poor because the foreigners steal their money. In fact, the bourgeois who run the country, starting even with Mobutu, we're looking at a work from Jeune Afrique magazine. they were talking about the last days of Mobutu. A guy called Jean-Pierre Ilantier wrote a series where he documents the last days of Mobutu Sese Seko. Mobutu was one of those dictators who killed the guy who actually won the election in that country, Patrice Emery Lumumba, the hero, the international hero. But since then, he made sweet deals with the Western powers, and he has been sucking all the money from that part of the world, building palaces in Valladolid and other places. After he died, everything just went down. So this series from Jeune Afrique was just looking at the last days of Mobutu, the way the Americans treated him just like a pariah, okay? Bill Richardson left the United States with a few guys, and they told him, hey, Mobutu, your time is up, boy. You got to go. He could not believe it. They told him, well, if you don't do something, your body will be in the streets. The people will come and the rebels will kill you. So just know that we're not going to help you anymore. So the last days of Mobutu, it tells you that dictators in Africa, be careful. Your last days are coming. You will have the same fate. You will suffer the same fate as Mobutu Sese Seko, okay? Then from there now, the Kabilas came, Joseph and Laurent Kabila. They did not change things. Last few weeks, we shared a document showing how Joseph Kabila and his family have really looted from the treasury of the country. Even now, Tshisekedi Felix, the new president, he just fired Albert Yuma, who is in charge of, who is the director of Grameen, one of the corporation parastatals handling mines, making money for the country. But this guy has already looted a whole lot of money. So everybody who gets in is trying to make money for himself. He connives with the power that be, even the president, to take money. So the Congo DRC place is just a mess. The country now is so feeble, so weak. Can you imagine that this is a country that should be able to fend for itself, but is so weak? Now Uganda has to bring forces to fight the rebels who are in Ituri and Beni area in the east. Why are they there? They are there because of resources. You have to understand that the ADF rebels that we are talking about today, they are just like a Muslim offshoot of a group of guerrillas. They were fighting against the Ugandan government of Yoweri Museveni. But now Museveni is looking for a way to fight his enemies. Since Felix Tshisekedi knows that his army is weak, he has hired Yoweri Museveni's army to come and do the job for him. Soon they will be asking for pay. When they ask for pay, then you say, oh, they are exploiting Congo. Who invited them? Congo has its own sovereignty. But now they need a foreign force to come and help them to protect their own country. Because since Felix Tshisekedi came, he has not been able to deal with the insecurity in the east. The North Kivu area, insecurity continues reigning, and we think this is really sad. But what can we say? We move now to Gambia. Gambia is Yaya Jammeh's country. Yaya Jammeh is on exile in Equatorial Guinea, but he has been making his presence felt in this election. The people are going to the polls. You can see the excitement. You even have people who feel they are victims of Yaya Jammeh's rule. They've been looking for justice, but up to now, they've not been able to get any justice. Adama Barrow, who is the current president, we hear he's also running and leading a little bit against Dobe. Usainu Dobe used to be his VP. He left and decided to challenge him for the presidency. So the two of them now are really clamoring to win the election. The people too are really excited to participate in this election because they feel like this is the first free and fair election that they are opportune to really participate in. In the past, Yaya Jammeh just bamboozle his way and push them aside. But this time, they feel like they have the right to really participate, and they are doing their best to participate. So we hope the new leader of Gambia can bring peace, can focus on the problem the people are facing. If he doesn't do that, they will continue to have insecurity. Adama Barrow has been president for a while, and we don't really think he has a clear agenda. But if he wins re-election, there will be pressure on him to do something to help his people. When he came to power, people thought this was a breath of fresh air. He would introduce a lot of positive changes, help the people. But from what we understand, he's not even building on the program that Yahya Jammeh has been building in the past. From here now, we'll move to Kenya. Folks lost their lives in an overflow of water, bridge over troubled water. These are people from the Catholic diocese, and they were trying to cross to go to a wedding, and their vehicle was swept into the river, and they died. Over 23 of them died in Kenya. So let's say, may their souls rest in peace, and we say, please, Lord, accept their souls. We feel bad whenever people die under such circumstances, but what can we do? We just pray that God should accept their souls again. So we say, God, accept the souls of our brothers and sisters who lost their lives in Kenya in this situation of the bridge over troubled water. Okay, this is a very good example of bridge over troubled water. The water was so deep, and the vehicle was swept by the water, and a lot of people died. A few people were rescued, but we really feel for those who really lost their lives, and we also feel for their families, and we're bringing attention to this. So let's pray to God to help. We also say a lot of people were killed in Mali. As you understand, Assimi Goïta has just taken control of Mali, but central Mali has also been the scene of a whole lot of jihadist activity. What should be done? Don't just let the jihadists overthrow you. Try to make a deal. Don't just use militarization the way a lot of leaders do. Try to use the carrot so that some of these jihadists can come to the table and you talk, okay? So we need to do this. Next, we move to Nigeria. There's a whole lot happening in Nigeria. In fact, one of our archbishops, Catholic archbishops, was saying that before the 2023 presidential elections, he predicts that Nigeria may break into pieces. Nigeria, as we know it, will not be a country anymore. And that's what's in the minds of a whole lot of people. A few of them are bold enough to say it, but we really feel bad because the power that be are not really paying attention. They are very, very greedy. They want to stay in power forever. They are not even worried about the causes of insecurity. When you look at some of the information that came to our attention before we came to the studio to shoot the show of today, the Islamic State of West Africa province is become so rich, just money laundering in the Nigerian apparatus. They've been moving money around, and from the article we read in Punch newspaper, they said over 18 billion naira has been moved around by these people. That's the amount of money they have moving in the system. Then you say to yourself, where is President Buhari's power to handle the movement against money laundering? Well, it seems that a lot of the guys who are involved in this money laundering are his henchmen, so they are free to do what the Americans are preaching against. They are the real terrorists, but they are protected by the state. The Buhari government is protecting them, so they feel free to do whatever they want to do. But it's very, very sad because when you look at this, so many people, even those who are against the Lekki massacre, they are not really listening to their report. So we saw this and we said we should draw your attention to it. Nigerians, be prepared. 2023 is coming. Don't just vote these old folks who have their cabal and they push things around your neck, then they continue providing terror and cover for the terrorists. Now they use the word terrorists the way they like it, okay? But they don't really understand that they are the ones protecting the terrorists. So Buhari needs to defang these terrorists because most of them come from the north and they have so much money. You look at Boko Haram is there, then the Islamic State of West Africa province is an offshoot of Boko Haram. They too are there, and look at the kind of money that they are moving through the system, kidnapping and doing business. So the Nigerian network, security network, instead of killing innocent people, should go after these criminals. But they are not doing that, okay? They are not doing that. They are letting them roam around scotch-free. We think this is not really a good thing, okay? And the sad thing too is Nigeria is borrowing and borrowing a whole lot of money, and some of this money is coming from China. In fact, there's a video some of you sent to us to let us see what happens when you borrow too much money from China.
You are about to see the exact reason why your country shouldn't take money from China. Last year I warned you with this video about China's plan to take over the world by putting poorer nations in debt. This video exposes the first official sign of that. By now, everyone knows that countries take money from China, but not everyone knows the true scale of that. According to research, there are 165 countries that have debt to China. That is literally almost the whole world. And all of this money taking officially makes China the #1 creditor in the world. And as we all know, sometimes the creditor has to come back and claim what's theirs. And so China came. There is a country that just lost their only international airport because they couldn't pay the debt. Now the airport belongs to China. Can you guess which country is it? Its capital city is Kampala, and it is officially the most ethnically diverse country in the world. Is it the Philippines, Uganda, Bhutan, or Ukraine? In the last couple of days, the world reported about Uganda losing its biggest and only international airport to China. All because they reportedly failed to repay their loan. And this is just the first step of many more where China comes to collect their debt, slowly taking over poorer nations. And that is exactly why last year I made this video saying why your country shouldn't be selling out to China. Because when a country borrows money to fund a specific project and later on they are not able to pay, they have to give China one by one their properties, assets, buildings, lands, and as crazy as it may sound, one day even their country. Here's how it works. In 2015, one of China's biggest banks lent Uganda $207 million to expand its most prominent and the country's most important airport. $207 million, 20 years to pay, and a grace period of 7 years. But somehow, only 6 years later, China is already preparing to take over. While both Ugandan and Chinese governments have denied the takeover, the debt trap that China put many nations in is undeniable. I have said it many times, and some people say that I exaggerate, but it is very clear that the Chinese Communist Party has a long-term strategy to slowly buy out the world. Things like this have been happening for a while now. For instance, in 2018, Sri Lanka, which owed China billions of dollars because they failed to pay their debt, they were allegedly forced to give their international port and 15,000 acres of their land to China. It is an obvious pattern, a pattern that ruling governments with no integrity ignore way too often. Because it is easy for the governments to take the money from China and then say to the voters, look, we are progressing, we are building our country. But these governments look at the next 5 years and not the next 20 years. That is why Uganda just lost their only international airport. That is why Sri Lanka lost their port and land. That is why many more countries will keep on slowly becoming China's possession. And so, Nightfam, I encourage you to do some research and check how much money does your country owe China. Chances are, if we don't stop our leaders from selling out, our children will be living in the global republic of China.
Last week, we mentioned the example of Uganda and the international airport in Entebbe. But this week, we want you to see what can happen to Nigeria. Nigeria is the biggest, the most populous country in Africa. But Nigeria has fallen in rank to number 14. Egypt is number 1. You would expect Nigeria to be number 1 in Africa in terms of investment destination. But Nigeria has fallen down to number 14, which is sad for Big Daddy of Africa. Nigeria produces oil, but they focus too much on corruption and mismanagement. So they cannot really do much to really improve this economy. A smarter president will try to diversify this economy and look for alternative ways to make money in the system. Then he will look for a way to deal with crime. Because You cannot really do a lot of business if the environment is insecure. Insecurity makes it difficult to do business. And we think that's a lesson Mr. Buhari needs to learn. Okay, he may be a student of the army, but he needs to learn to talk to the people so that they can create an environment that is conducive for business. Okay? If they can do this, we think it will be really positive. Finally, we're going to go now to Sudan. Prime Minister Hamdok has been reinstated, but a lot of the people are not happy because they feel he signed a Faustian deal with the devil, which is the military. The people want the military to retire and leave politics alone. But the military doesn't want to go away so far into the sunset. They want to stay and run the country until they can steal enough money before they can go. So this is not really a good sign, and it's creating a whole lot of insecurity in the country. A lot of protests are going on. But we're saying that this is not good. We need some peace to come back to Sudan so that the people can start living their lives. We think we've come to the end of our show of today, but we want to emphasize the main themes. We need to have our own institutions. Africa can avoid a lot of problems if they stop borrowing from the white man. They need to have their own agenda, the African agenda. But most of the leaders that we have are bourgeois as opposed to proletariats. The people are proletariats. They have nothing. So as you can see, the way Karl Marx used to say, the history of the world is a history of class struggle. You have the bourgeois who are on top, making money and stealing from the people, and the people are the proletariats at the bottom. So eventually, the people need to rise so that they can take over the reins of power and change things. But they cannot just allow a bourgeois class to continue conniving with the former colonial master to steal their resources, which is what we're telling you in this video. This needs to change. Thank you very much for watching this show. Share it with your friends. Share it with your brothers. Bye-bye.
Medical practice software is too old. Indeed, all the programs are built on MUMPS, technology of the 1950s, and the programs cost too much money. Epic and Cerner cost billions of dollars. Meditech costs thousands of dollars too. In fact, that's why we created AlexiaHTC.com, a new and free EMR/EHR for doctors. AlexiaHTC.com is built for HIPAA. Yes, magical one-screen technology, ease of use, quick charting, amazing e-prescribing, tight labs integration, multi-office difference, because we believe doctors and patients need a break today. Be the first to test drive AlexiaHTC.com. You have nothing to lose, you have everything to gain. Act now. Call 240-350-1131. Alexia Care Corporation at AlexiaHTC.com. Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.